Morning to all of you. Welcome back to the Namaste Experience. So wonderful to have you with us. So I'm very excited because this morning I want to share a little bit more of something that I have been, I guess I could say, allowing, not writing so much as allowing to move through me. And I would love for it to move through each one of us. I'm told that Baraka is here in the room, which is appropriate because today I'm going to share a little bit more of a book that I am actually just finished writing the first draft yesterday, The Annihilated Self. Doesn't that sound fun? Interesting? The Annihilated Self. Hmm. Well, we're going to share a little bit more of that for a while. And I'm very excited because I shouldn't really say excited because it's not as if something is happening out here that gets me going. It's more that feeling something moving within that was always going, that was always fully and wholly present. Something has awakened, we could say. And so I'm very excited to share this with you. But first, I want to say good morning to Vicky. Good, Vicky, how are you today? You want to say hello to everyone before we start?
Well, good morning, Brother James. I never cease to be amazed at your gift for drama. So, the annihilated one, what a gift I'm sure is coming through those pages. Thank you.
Well, we could say dissolving, we could say a lot of words, but there's something about being annihilated by love, completely consumed by grace and holiness. And to me, this is what it is. And as you may remember from a few lessons ago, I spoke about this amazing 14th century woman, Marguerite Perrault, who was a Beguine, who wrote the classic book, The Mirror of Simple Souls, where she allowed a conversation to take place within her between actually three characters. There was the soul, which was Marguerite, and then love, which we could say is the Christ or the divine, and then reason. Reason would pop its head in once in a while and try to be reasonable. But reason is never really all that reasonable. It has its own agenda, its own position. It has its own position. We could just stop there because its own position is to retain, maintain its position in your life, in your mind, so that you rely upon it, its reasonableness. It looks at the world of form and says, I'm going to help you reason your way through this. But we come to the point now where realize, we realize that only grace, only love can bring us into this divine impulse. And so we let the voice of reason just fall away and allow this conversation between the soul, which is you, and love itself. So I've borrowed especially love and the soul, those two characters for this conversation. And in writing this, it's not as if I've written anything. It's more as if I've allowed it to come through me. So let's go ahead. I read a little bit from chapter one I think Friday. We're going to share some of chapter two now. And the way we're going to do that is I'm just going to read some, but I'm going to try and read it in a way that brings it to life. So this chapter is called Unholy Trembling. Holy Trembling. And it begins with love saying, there comes a moment, quiet and golden, when the soul realizes it cannot climb its way into what already is. It cannot climb its way into what already is. When all the songs of desire grow still, and even the holiest longing feels like a curtain, veiling the radiance that was never absent. Longing, your idea that you must long for God, has been your lantern, sweet soul, lighting the path through the shadows of becoming. Lighting the path through the shadows of becoming. It was sacred and it is sacred. But now I ask that you lay down that lantern. Let the path itself vanish. Let the seeker dissolve into the sought. You wonder, what will remain if I let go of my desire for God? And I say, only God remains, only love itself. But I know, beloved, that this is not so easy for you. The mind wraps itself around the flame, even when the flame burns away. It wants to hold on, even to surrender. It wants to grab hold of the ungraspable. This is what the mind does. And so now, here you are right now on the edge of silence, trembling between what you've known and what cannot be known, what can never be known by the mind or reason. And I ask of you not another step, not more effort, but a deeper pause, a holy exhale. So come to me, dear soul, and speak what is in your heart. Speak, and I will listen. So the soul responds, saying, thank you, love. You seem to be saying that the mind that is wanting is the one who is wanting. In other words, wanting something is in itself a state of discomfort, and it leaves us in a state of wanting. I'm not sure if that really makes sense at all, but it seems to apply. I used to say that there are two types of wanting, one with a small w and the other with a capital W. Wanting with a small w includes all the little things like air to breathe and food to eat, while wanting with a capital W contains only one thing, God or the beloved. You're saying, I think, that this is only the first stage, and that it sets the stage for the second, where there is no wanting at all. You're saying that wanting and desire have to vanish, consumed by the I that is forever present, beyond all definitions and beyond all concepts. I'm finding it hard to give up wanting. I'm finding it hard to give up longing, because wanting only one thing, to be with God, is the only thing I've known. Am I even close here, love? And love responds, yes, yes, dearest, you are very close as a candle is to its flame. But even that is too far. You speak truly when you say that the mind that is wanting is the one who is wanting. And even when it speaks of holy longing, of capital W wanting, as you say, it is still shaping the infinite within its own contours. Once again, it is still shaping the infinite with its own contours. It's in its innocence, it turns desire toward God, believing that this is the highest path. And for a time, it is. It's the most luminous stage of the dream, where the dreamer begins to awaken. But then even that falls away. Even the desire to desire only God dissolves, not through effort, but by grace. The flame consumes itself, and there's no one left to name the fire. And then soul says, But if even the desire for union falls away, what remains? Oh, only what has always remained, love says. What is not made, not sought, not earned, what was present before you asked your first question, and what will remain when the last answer fades into silence. It is not that you give up the desire for union, it's that eventually you see that there was never anything other than union. When you see that, the one who longed and the one longed for were never two. The soul then asks, then the longing was a mirror? Oh, yes, yes, a beautiful and shimmering mirror. And it was always your own face you were seeing in it, your own face. Even your ache was already union, just cloaked in time and story. But now the mirror grows quiet. The waves on the surface fall still, and in that stillness you do not find God as an object or as a reward. You remember yourself as God's own breath, not apart, not even united, one and only one being, only this. So let yourself fall, beloved. Let even the last desire that you have in your heart unweave. Love does not require your wanting, only your willingness to vanish. And in that vanishing, you will find that you were never missing. And then soul asks, you speak of vanishing with such eloquence, almost as if it's romantic. But in this vanishing, is everything lost? Even even though I realize that nothing really is lost, but everything that we've valued is gone, right? I keep moving between feelings of sweetness and then bitterness. I guess my mind is still making valuable that which has no value. I can feel the experience of release approaching, but the closer I get, the more fearful I seem to become. What do you suggest I do, love? Ah, yes, my tender one. The sweetness and the bitterness, two petals on the same rose. One sings of freedom and the other mourns the funeral of what was never really true. And yet both are welcome, both of them. You feel fear because you're standing at the edge of the last thing the mind can grasp. Hmm. You are brushing against the great silence, and the self, so accustomed to naming and wanting and holding, it trembles. The self trembles in the presence of what cannot be known, cannot be touched, and cannot be possessed. This holy trembling, let it shake you, let it undo you. Do not try to be brave, holy soul. Do not try to push the fear away or to dress it up in robes of enlightenment. Instead, bring the fear to me. Let it sit in my lap like a child, sobbing. I will not cast it out. I will love it until it finally dissolves. So take a deep breath and just breathe that in now. A light as bright as this needs a few seconds to integrate, to dissolve into that one that is known as you, that one that is so loved and is love. So take another deep breath And let this sacred sight unfold before you as it has always been before you, in you, and as you. And when you're ready, go ahead and open up your eyes. And Vicky, I'll let you take it from there.
Okay, Brother James. Well, first thing I want to say is this would make the most lovely vignette of a conversation that you could easily take on the road when the book is out. The personification of love and the flower and reasoning slipping away would make a beautiful little vignette. But okay, so this is the Except Ye Be as a Little Child translation of all that. What it brings me to is that simplicity of relaxing and resting in a holy rest that is rejoicing that there's it's done. That and I do believe this deeply, that we have traveled this road through reason and through programs in learning, and that the time of learning collectively is over. And as each one of us reaches this place of letting go of everything, every interest, it's like in the Course in Miracles, the workbook lessons, this world has nothing that I want, but beyond this world, there is a world I want. That we have reached into what doesn't take lessons anymore. It doesn't take learning. The reasoning part has been released. It's been not fired, but freed from duty. The reasoning doesn't need to chime in anymore because, and this is how I experience it, say practically, we land here still in time, still in bodies. And what are we to do? Except be like a little child. Trust the impulse of love that is now our nature unveiled, uncovered. When we gave our fears to the love that we are and they melted, there's no more covering. There's no more delaying of the reasoning aspect of ourselves, trying to delay us with understanding of the split mind. We don't need that understanding. We need direct experience of the fullness of love that has no opposite. And the way that I would translate that is to trust the prompts of our heart as a way of life. Follow them. Let them be the fulfillment of that resting in no longer seeking or looking, but in accepting, in welcoming, in rejoicing that there is no veil. It was just that function of the reasoning mind, and the learning programs that brought us to this spot have fulfilled themselves. But like little children, we have to trust that the prompts in our heart are fully full of love by letting them express through us. In our giving, we will receive and recognize the fullness of love. So wherever we are, whatever is given us to do, whatever opens our heart, it if we trust it, don't use reasoning to justify it, but trust it. And if there's still fear around it, let that fear dissolve in the lap of love, and then follow those prompts. As simple as that. It's leaving the land of learning, it's leaving the land of longing, and entering into the land of acceptance of what recognition is. Oh, I am that, without fear or desire, because longing is still a desire and it still has a sense of split in it. But without either of those things, we land in the lap of love. So, like children, if we follow it and give as we're feeling, whatever it might be, write a song, do a dance, make a bouquet, whatever it might be. Chris wrote a beautiful song with AI about calico yesterday. The prompt came to him, and whoosh, in 2 seconds, he had a song dedicated to calico. And every one of us have that, it's not a potential, it's our natural state. So that's what I'd say. We are being, we are finally, this is what home looks like in time. We live in the home of love. We follow without trying to analyze and reason, keep reasoning to the side, because to the reasoning mind, the inspirations of love may seem foolish. Don't worry about that. Give of the love. That's what I would say.
Mm,
Thank you, Brother James.
beautiful, Vicky. As always, one of the things you said was landing in the lap of love. Maybe that's the name of the new book. I love that. Landing in the lap of love, and how even the desire for love or for God or for the divine is itself a tiny split. But as love is saying to us in that dialogue, it's the sign that the dream is coming to a close because you're stepping in now to that infinite ocean of grace. It's like we've been standing there on the edge, or maybe we've been coming down the river, but now we're standing right there at the edge as the waves gently lap against our ankles and we're ready to enter in. So, landing in the lap of love. I love that. So, Baraka, I see you're out there. What do you think? Do you think we should launch this new book project? Baraka has always been so helpful with me getting these books organized and ready to get out. What do you think, Baraka?
It's brilliant.
You ready to step in and help me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Let's go. Let's go for it. You know I'm always there for you.
Baraka used to be my bus driver. We used to have a 40-foot long Eagle bus that said, "May peace prevail on earth," on the entire length of both sides, driving all over the United States, doing events and doing all sorts of concerts. So, but this feels like together through this experience of Namaste Village, the Namaste experience, that we've come to something so intimate, so something so holy that is so far past the need to 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 extend or to give or to through our effort alone try to increase. Traveling around the country in a bus was great at that time, but now is the time just to breathe, just to dissolve, and to let the self itself be annihilated, or as Vicky said, to lie in the lap of love. That's what we're going to do. And to that, we say, Amen, Amen, Amen,
Amen.
y
Y
punto.
punto.
And so it is. We love you all so much.
Of all of you.
Have an
Love you, Baraka.
amazing day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye,
See you
Vicky.
all very soon. Bye now.